3, 2, 1. Through the barrels, through the barrels. This is the fastest thing I've ever driven in BeamNG. I think we're done. We're done. Yo, what's up and welcome back to today's BeamNG video where I, a BeamNG pro player, will mod the Piccolina to its absolute limits. And to do that, we're gonna split the challenge into 3 parts and build 3 different variants throughout the whole video. Track, rally and drag. So we're gonna compare the stock car to each build to find the ultimate Piccolina. And also, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and leaving a like if you enjoy the content. Okay, we're at the starting line of our lovely racetrack for the day and we're gonna try to set the best lap time possible for this stock Piccolina, and after that we're gonna mod it and see what time we can get then. So let's rev up the engine and off the line we go. Little misshift right there, but that's not gonna be too dramatic. Head on over to first person and yeah, that lap is gonna take us some time probably, but hey, everything for the experiment, you know. Okay, heading into our first real corner, just brake the car a little bit and go over these curbs. You know, we gotta take all of the momentum that we can get, so don't lose too much speed. No need to brake right here. Go over these curbs, brake here early so we don't lose the car and we don't drive onto the grass. Actually, for a 35 horsepower car, this car seems pretty fast. No? Brake a bit, brake, 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 brake. A little drift. You know, at the end of the day, this thing is still rear-wheel drive. And step on the gas, step on the gas, go to the outside, brake a little bit and full speed over here. Went a little bit off the track, but you know, speeding through these last curves and we're heading on over to the final curve. Can we take this corner at full speed without going off track? And we're on to the starting line and let's head on over to the finish line. So yeah, that's the time we got. Okay, so let's head on over to the pits and mod the out of this little car and see how fast we can get it around the track. And we're gonna turn it into a literal time attack beast. So after modding for quite some time now, this is what I've came up with. An absolute behemoth of a Piccolina. I basically ripped out the whole interior. I put on a whole white body on the car so we can fit the massive slicks that I put on these center lug nut wheels, and we got a massive spoiler as you can see in the back for the highly needed downforce. And now let's look at the back, and this is where all the magic happens. Because here we've got a 1.5 liter twin turbo flat 4 water cooled engine. And as you can see, there are some tiny little spoolie boys up there and they're gonna make a lot of power. And now you're asking yourself, what kind of power? And it's actually only 300 horsepower. And now you're asking yourself, why didn't you go higher? And that's because, first of all, I didn't want to add the bigger engine because we're still trying to keep the weight down, and this thing sounds absolutely lethal. Just listen to it. So let's drive this thing to the starting line and see what time we can set. Okay, so let's put this baby into launch control. 3, 2, 1 and we're off. And man, this thing is already moving way quicker than the stock one. I mean, I hope so, because we got like 275 horsepower more. So coming up to the first corner, brake early because I don't want to lose the car. Also brake early for this corner, so we can take the corner kind of on the inside. Step on the gas, over to the outside. You know, we got that full-on racing line now. Also the wide rear tires, we got like 345s in the back, and that makes it kind of hard to corner. Brake here, go here. We can go a little bit off track. We also did that with the stock one, so that's not too bad. Brake, 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 brake. Go over here. Don't lose the car. Into the final corner, and we can step on the gas right now. Onto the final straight, 6-speed sequential gearbox, and over the finish line. Okay, so we're on to the dirt track now and we're gonna get the real rally experience with our little Piccolina right here. So let's head on over into our little launch and let's go. First time ever driving this track with this car. Should be pretty interesting. I don't know how this thing even handles off-road. Maybe I'm gonna spin out in the first corner, but let's give it a try. Oh, and the ABS is already giving me some issues. Let's brake here. Going onto a rally track without ABS is always some kind of problem, but hey, back in the days they also did it like this, so it shouldn't be an issue. At least the car is rear-wheel drive, because having a front-wheel drive car in rally is not quite optimal. And yeah, we're just making our way through here. I'm really excited to see the rally build of this car, because either it's gonna be really insane or it's just gonna suck. So let's see what lap time we can achieve with the stock one. Okay, coming up on the final straight and into the A-base. Amazing. Okay, so let's go back to the starting line and see what mods can we do to this thing to turn it into a real rally beast. Okay, so we're done with the modding, and basically underneath the car it's the same setup as on the track setup. So we have the same 1.5 liter water-cooled engine, but now we have some nice off-road wheels and tires. We have a whole rally suspension, and we did some minor body modifications so it better fits the rally style. So let's go back to the starting line and see what this baby can do. Okay, so we're at the starting line now, and this thing is gonna be pretty mad to control because this thing is still rear-wheel drive and we don't have the big meaty tires in the back now. So let's see what this thing can do. Pop it into launch control and we're off. We're already spinning out on the back, but it's fine. Just don't go too fast. Head into the corner. Amazing first corner, actually. Amazing entry. Stoked to see if this thing is actually faster than the stock one, because, you know, because of all the wheel spin and that kind of stuff. Okay, brake early. You can throw it into the corners quite a bit with the rear brakes. And the sequential really makes shifting a lot faster. Small jump here. Looks fine now. Rally suspension really helps in that case. And we're almost off track. We head on over to the finish line. Through the barrels, and we're done. Okay, so while editing this video I just noticed that I'm only 5 seconds faster with the modded variant than the stock one, and that's quite embarrassing, but I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, so we're at the drag strip now, and we're gonna do a little pass in our 35 horsepower Piccolina and see how fast we can go, or which times we can achieve. So let's first see if we can warm up the tires with a little burnout. That won't do much. So let's just head on to the starting line, pop it into neutral, rev up the engine, and we're off again. That's gonna be a long pass. I don't even know how long this will take. I didn't know what I expected of a 35 horsepower car, but yeah, here we are. Because it handled quite well around the track and around the rally course, but on the drag strip, okay, we're done. So let's drive back to the pits and mod the absolute shit out of this car. And believe me, you'll be surprised of what this car is capable of. Okay, so after some minor modding, as you can see, this is what I've come up with, and let me tell you, it's an absolute beast. So basically, it's the same car as the rally and track variant that we had before, but I made some small adjustments to the cosmetics. As you can see, I slapped on the big meaty tires in the back again with the Centrolog wheels, and now we come to the best part, because in the back we not only have a wheelie bar, but we have a 2.5 liter flat 4 water-cooled engine with some big spoolie boys on the back, and let me tell you, these things work wonders, because just listen to them. But it's not only the engine. We've bumped up the PSI to around 40 PSI and added a little shot of nitrous, so that brings us to a total of 1100 horsepower. So let's pull up to the strip, see if we can warm up those tires really quick, and let me tell you, it's gonna be absolutely amazing. Okay, an engine that revs up to 8500 RPMs. Let's pop it into launch control. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Oh my god, it's so fast, it's so hard to control. But this is the fastest thing I've ever driven in BeamNG. I'm not gonna lie. Maxing out at 190 miles per hour. I think we're done. We're done. This is the fastest thing we've ever built, and I did not imagine this thing was capable of that.